Hello, welcome to Retro Toy Princess. I'm Allison Troy, and my guest tonight is Derek J. Hoover.
Hello.
Most of you know Derek as the host of the Yesterdaze Podcast, but I'll also remind you he's also the author of Mr. Mysteria, available now on Amazon. Derek J. Hoover,
Very
Mr.
good.
Mysteria. Get your copy.
Very
Anyway,
good.
We don't want people to forget you're an author.
Yeah, I sure am.
Haha, I've been planning that all day, Derek. I was like, oh my God, I need to remind people that Derek wrote a book. Really quick, we actually have people here waiting for us. So, like, who knew? We throw something together last minute, they show up. You plan it for a month, it's 2 people. So. It's like every one of your birthday parties Susan threw. Because she was terrible. Anyway, Andrew is here, and he's wanting to know about the all-you-can-eat shrimp. So,
dog ate all the shrimp. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. And then Brennan, they're great. Fancy. I'm going to assume Brennan's referring to the Tony the Tiger. Speaking of tigers, you could probably hear the cat in the background right now losing his mind. That's just the evening what we're having here. And then also, hello, Brennan. And I've heard the Batman show on Prime is good, so definitely we'll check that out maybe after this. Hello, Mints with Card. Lovely to see you.
Hey, boss.
Welcome. So really quick, good Lord, just a second.
Was that your cat?
Anyway, he's just going, it's the devil cat. He's been possessed by devil. It's treat time. And yeah, anyway. So for those of you wondering why we're here tonight, Derek was like, we should do a San Diego Comic-Con wrap-up because we're famous on the internet in our little corner of the universe. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So here we are.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, you know, why not? Like, why not be as narcissistic as everyone else?
I want to be narcissistic.
Yeah, but I also made tiles for us. So let's really quick add to the stage. See, look, we have our whole thing here.
Ta-da!
I made a look. I used Canva, and apparently Canva's evil now. So sorry about that, everyone. I've doomed this all to hell because I used Canva to make just this tile. The rest of it is my bad Photoshop skills. So if it helps anyone who has ambiguous feelings about Canva, I made part of it on Canva, screenshotted it. I didn't even save it. Did a screenshot with my phone, then downloaded it from my phone onto the computer, and then did some. So I basically stole from Canva. So if that helps.
What did Canva do?
I don't know. I think they use a lot of AI or something. Who knows? Anyway, so obviously I put She-Ra on the thumbnail because that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
She's rad looking.
She's pretty good. And just to be honest, I also have my Origins vintage toy version here so that she can witness her failure. Exactly. So just a heads up, everyone. I've had a lot of caffeine and not a lot of sleep. So I'll be a little sassier than normal, and Derek is just going to be Derek.
Yeah, that's really all you can say.
And we're also going to try to get out of here under an hour. Don't know if it'll happen, but we do know many of you want to go watch Toy Habits because apparently they're on tonight. And then I think Lawrence, the Punk with Toys, is on tonight. But, I mean, he does 17 hours on Monday, so he'll be okay.
It's a night of 1,000 stars.
Aw, thank you. See? Exactly. Mattel. It's the Barbie tree. So anyway, Allison and Derek are SDCC favorites. And then let's get started. So these were on Derek's. Well, you explain because I don't want to put words into your mouth.
These were so I really didn't see anything at SDCC that I was like just about. For the most part, everything I saw looked really good. It just got divided into stuff that I have to buy this. Like, it's not even up to me. I think I'm contractually obligated to buy it. Divided into that stuff that I'm like, that's really awesome, but it's not for me. I'm happy for who it is for. There's maybe a couple things that I'm meh about, just like, oh, that's nice. That's about all I have to say. But with these offerings from Nacelle, the Cowboys of Moo Mesa, and the Biker Mice from Mars, I'm probably not getting them just because they're going to be a little spendy. They are boutique. I didn't have a huge affinity for these properties, but they look really cool. I think they did a tremendous job on them. I think the motorcycles for the mice look great, and I'm not a cowboy collector, but I kind of want to be after seeing some of these, especially with the accessories and the Gatling gun and stuff. Like, they really put some effort into these. I think they look rad. They really do. So if you're a fan, I think I'm happy for you. It's how I feel about them.
So I'm sort of in the same, but I think these look really cool. For me, both of these properties sort of fall in that in-between time where I was not collecting toys and had, like, between childhood and adult toy collecting. I think like my first year, I was still buying like Batman stuff. I do remember in college I'm dating myself now. Like I did in my 30s where I dated myself because nobody else could tolerate me because I was a hose beast. Different story, different time. But like myself, toy collecting for a big stretch of time between high school and during the first few years of college was the McDonald's Batman the Animated Series as little figures, and then I would buy some Kenner Catwoman stuff, of course. But all of these sort of hit at that time, and because they were sort of tied into kids' cartoons, it just wasn't my jam. But these look really good. It's one of those things where it's like I kind of wish it was my jam because they're that cool. But it's not my jam. But I do know there are a lot of people in our circles who are really excited about these, and I'm happy for them that they're getting these cool toys that they like.
Oh, absolutely. For me, when these properties came out, I was a Turtles kid. Like I wasn't crazy about them, but anything else that came out after that cartoon and movie that was remotely anthropomorphic animal fighting any form of crime, my radar was up for like, knockoff. I'm surprised I was that cynical that early, but
I will say kids have a really innate sense of authenticity. God, I sound like one of those hipster influencer people who are always like, this is how you make $1 million on YouTube, authenticity. But I mean, in this case, it's Apple. I think kids kind of get when something's just a cash in.
Yeah, I think kids do pick up when someone's trying to BS them pretty quick. And that's where these fell in line for me. Like, it just seemed like a Turtles knockoff, but they're really cool looking figures. And really cool. I mean, if you were a fan of them growing up or you grew up on this stuff, congratulations, because these look pretty rad. They look so cool.
The lady cow, the girl cow, I really like.
Well, she looks great.
If I see her on discount, she will probably end up on my cool lady action figure. Same with the lady from the Biker Mice from Mars line. So also,
the cop, isn't she a cop?
Yeah. She was basically their ripoff of the lady from Gargoyles. So
Elisa.
Really quick, Andrew. Yes, I have Stellara over there, and that is an amazing figure. So 100%. Chris, Shiny Plastic People, is with us, and he's got the sound off. He's at Texas Roadhouse, so he's starting out appropriately for the toys we're starting with.
Num 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 num.
And I did not say Bucky O'Hare. So
no.
And Charlie, thank you, Andrew. That was her name, in fact. So thanks, Andrew. He knows everything. You should go watch his channel, guys. Hello, Rhea, aka Rhea Black, because it's just cool to say it both ways. All right, so we're going to move on. But again, these are really cool. If you like them, pick them up. So I couldn't find pictures of the Mondo Real Ghostbusters that I liked or that I could take time to like clean up. So this is the Mondo Ghostbuster toys. I use the fancy font though, so you know.
Well, while I could have helped you.
Yeah, but look at the fancy font. It's really cool.
Yeah, I have to say it is very fancy font.
I even highlighted it. So like I did extra steps. So anyway.
It's really good font.
I didn't see Janine, so what is it the kids say? I don't give a fuck. That's what the kids say now, right? Yeah. Okay.
It's the lack of Janine is so Ohio.
Evidently. Yeah, it's so Ohio that like
it lacks Riz. There's no drip.
Yeah, there's no Riz to it at all.
She hasn't. She's not in the line, so it's not goated with the sauce.
It's super sus
or whatever.
Yeah, the kids know what we're talking about.
Skibbity toilet.
We don't.
I'm young and I'm hip.
Yeah. Hello, my fellow young people.
Hello,
anyway,
youths.
Are you excited about these? Because you're a Ghostbusters person.
I'm a Ghostbusters guy, but I also have a budget.
Okay. Yeah,
they look cool.
This is going to be anytime Mondo comes up tonight, this is going to be a theme on my side. Like, I like it, but it's just too much.
I admire boutique stuff, I think, and that's what I consider. I feel like Super 7 started very boutique. I feel like they've become a little bit more accessible. Like, you can find Super 7 stuff at Target or Walmart in the collector section. So they're a little more accessible.
Yeah.
Not as boutique, but still can cost a little. Mondo is boutique.
But not unattainable.
Yeah. And I think they look good. I think the pricing and the packaging, like how they want to do them, is pretty fair for what you're getting and the look of them. That boogeyman it looks like he's crawling right out of the TV. The same with Sam Hain.
The one thing I will say is they looked really. I get why people who love Ghostbusters and can afford overpriced toys are into them. Wait, that sounded negative though. I didn't mean it that way, but
easy now.
My apologies to everyone who likes overpriced toys. That was not a dick. I mean Mondo toys. Anyway, as she should be. As she should be, Andrew. I can't wait.
Yes.
Well, see, we'll get to that.
That's a good point.
We're going to be talking about it. Like, the reason I personally don't clutch pearls over something like a HasLab because it's a much bigger item. Yeah. For me, like, figures at that price point kind of make. I will say with them, I didn't research enough to speak knowledgeably about the Ghostbusters pricing. My understanding is it seems a little bit more reasonable than some of their stuff, but whatever. So.
Yeah, I have to say it does seem the RGB line seems more reasonable. Like some of the X-Men figures and the Mondo Battle, they look amazing, but I can't justify spending that kind of money. Just with where I'm at in my life, I can't justify spending that kind of money on that one thing. I could justify spending that money on like a collection or a play set or a crowdfund that has tier unlocks, but I have a hard time justifying it. If you can do it, the royal you, if you can do it, go forth and get your Ghostbuster toys because they do.
Yeah, I don't have judgment over people who even people who maybe have tighter budgets where this is their toy line and this is pretty much what they're buying. I don't. It's not my jam. So
yeah, I like Ghostbusters, but I'm not a huge RGB guy.
I'm a huge Princess Leia fan. How many Hot Toys Leias do I have? Is that why? Because that's a lot of money for a doll with glassy, creepy eyes.
Where are my pearls? Where are my pearls?
Yeah, where are your pearls? It's a great question. Really quick, Dave, welcome. Thank you for popping in. Dave also has a cool channel. Go check it out. He did a really good review on the new Beverly Hills Cop movie that made me go watch it. It was really good. Thank you for the.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah. And hello, Oz. Welcome. Oz is here, which made me miss Mint on Card's comment, it's right now, we in my household, we're sort of in the housing market right now, and that's had me put pause on things as far as spending a lot of money on items. Yeah, we did.
Seen a ghost?
Yeah, we did. We said ghost. We'll get back to them too. We're moving on from Mondo Ghostbusters because it's not our jam. So we're not going to sit here and spend hours bagging on poor Mondo Ghostbusters.
They look cool. If you can swing them, get them, because they do look cool.
Yeah, I totally like. If you like these and you can swing them, get them.
Yeah.
Hello, Helendred. I hope that's correct pronunciation. I'm going to pretend it is because it's way fancier when I say it that way to my ear. All right. So anyway, as mentioned, for those late to the party, I didn't find a real Ghostbusters Mondo picture I liked, so I just used a fancy font because that's how it rolls.
Very fancy.
For the retro
it's Pinky's out fancy. Oh,
now,
this
speaking
big boy.
of Mondo and too expensive but amazing, this again, like these are Derek's picks. I like these, but again, that's a little bit outside of my. I love She-Ra. I don't have a Mondo She-Ra or a Tilo or any of it, so.
It's so cool looking. Like, if it's one of those things that if I could afford one, like I could justify buying a Mondo figure, I would have to get this just because it's so BA looking. I don't know how much I can swear on here. I cuss like a sailor on my podcast, but I don't know what I can do here.
My rule is like 1 or 2 F-bombs, and I've already used up one of those, so like you got 2 and
okay.
PG-13 rules. It's after 6 p.m. I mean, there are people who are going to.
So I can say badass.
Yeah, you can totally say badass.
Oh, okay. Badass, yeah, no, these are badass.
Yeah, this is just say badass on TGIF back in the day.
Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah.
No, that Scaremare is so cool. I hope there ends up being a version of it in Origins. Like, it's not likely, but
it could be like. I mean, all they would need is a basic buck that they use for a Swiftwind. So if they give us a Swiftwind, they can make.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh God, I hope he shows up more.
So this is our wish.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah.
If enough fans come together and wish for it, it can happen. So before we make ourselves any more sad with this, let's move to the next slide. These again were Derek's, like he likes them, but he's kind of like they're not his jam to buy.
Yeah, I think they're very cool looking if you're a collector of this line. If you like D&D, and I know the first wave of the D&D figures had some quality issues, and it's the typical stuff that Super 7 is kind of tripped on before, like hands and joints, and some issues like that.
Also had that, so
yeah. This Tiamat is kind of bitchin'. It's a giant 5-headed dragon, and it's very cartoon accurate. They're not trying to make it something that it doesn't need to be and church it up too much. It's very well done. He a big old chonky boy. It's very cool looking. If you're into that line, you kind of have to buy this, I think. Like, I don't know how you sleep on that.
Yeah, he's really cool. Like, well, also LJN did a version of this for their D&D line that was. I mean, it's kind of one of those holy grails of that line, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty toy. Like, you don't look at it and go, "Oh my God, it's awesome." It's pretty clunky.
This is immaculate.
Yeah, it's got some issues. So this is pretty cool. I know some people were not happy with the price on this, and I can definitely see that point of view.
I can, but I don't. I have thoughts about pricing. Well, I'm sure we'll get into it.
Same. Like, I just
I have opinions.
And then his name is Vecna, right?
Yes. So that's the like based on like the actual D&D game, Vecna.
Yeah.
And I'm not a D&D collector, but I kind of want that guy.
He's really like he would look good in Masters of the Universe.
I was just gonna say he would be so cool in like with your Masterverse figures. He would look so badass.
He's like Snoke sized compared to like Star Wars. So like you could totally just integrate. He could be like Masters of the Universe Snoke, because everyone loved Snoke from like Star Wars, right? He was pretty popular.
Yeah. Yes. That's a fan base. I nope. I got enough negativity in my life.
Pissed off D&D fans that they would like show up at your house and throw dice at you, and you would regret that it ever happened.
Oh, jokes on them. I've LARPed, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need some Pepto-Bismol?
Ha ha ha. Waka waka.
Yeah, somebody had to do it. Okay.
She got jokes. She got
Yeah.
jokes.
I don't know if we can precisely call them jokes, but I got it.
Quips.
All right. We're going to move on to the next slide. Okay, so first of all, let me say, as somebody who's not a huge Ghostbuster fans, I really want this set.
Same.
This is really cool. If they had released this in 1984, I would probably like Ghostbusters better.
Yeah. We're getting now what we probably should have got back in 84. And I really want this for myself. I may end up getting this.
I will say it's like $45 for all four of them.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all for 4 figures, O-ring, actual likenesses. There's no Janine. There's an issue with, and because this is the movie, there's also no Sigourney Weaver. There's no Gozer. There's no. Oh wait, that's Aliens. Never mind. I was about to say there's no little girl that Dana rescues from like the alien, but that's a different movie. So
you're mixing up your Sigourney media.
Well, it's a Sigourney reality that we live in. So.
The Sigourney singularity.
Oh no, that sounded ominous, Oz. Yeah, well, and this is a really good point, Dave.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting these. When I heard it was $44, I was like, oh, a piece.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that sounds really jaded and cynical, but when I was like 44 for all of them, it really makes more sense to buy them than it does to not buy them. So.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, maybe I don't get it for me, but this is something I might get for Henry because he's graduating to bigger toys. He's always had action figures. I got him one of the Kenner Ghostbusters before the dog got a hold of it. Jason, my co-host, found a Fright Features Venkman.
Oh, nice.
He never took to that one, but he'll still play with I don't know what the line is, but it's from Hasbro. Basically the figures that were on the shelves during the movies that weren't Plasma series. Gotcha. He has all of those, and he has 2 different Ectos. Like he has the newer Hasbro Ecto. He has the Kenner reproduction, re-release. He just doesn't take the RGB all that much.
Yeah.
He would probably go bananas with these.
Well, they're just really good. I mean, also with these, like, if you could find a Sandra Bullock 3 3/4, you could do Miss Congeniality. You've got Winston there, and I will say I did extra work on the movie Miss Congeniality. Ernie Hudson is the nicest Hollywood person I have ever met, and I've met a few.
True on both counts. You were in that movie, and he is super nice. Both are facts. Nice.
Hello, Zach. Welcome. It's not late. You're fashionably late. Well, exactly, and that's another thing, Dave. That was also why I was doubly surprised because I'm just used to Star Wars tags. So, anyway, so we like these, and as the person not a Ghostbusters fan, usually really sad that there's no Janine or no Dana or no Gozer or what have you. I'm still probably going to end up picking these up. So,
yeah,
go figure.
Hell yeah.
Next is Derek of the Mondo Lion-O, and again, we have a fancy font because I didn't find a picture I liked. So.
I'm going to let it slide because, I mean...
Use your imagination, children.
I'm a font guy, believe it or not. I took advertising classes, and that's a really good font.
And this font is called Lobster, so it's like, serious. It's not playing around.
My second favorite crustacean. My favorite is crawdads.
Crawdads are pretty good, but lobster is like a big crawdad, or crawfish, as we call them where I grew up in Louisiana. Crawfish.
Or crawdaddy.
It's like that big, but a lobster is bigger and less work and more meat. So,
I'm not talking food. I'm talking pets.
Oh yeah, I'm talking eating. Yeah, thank you, Dave. So anyway, these I think are the last 2. This is the last font slide because I was just Derek and I threw this together pretty quick, and between day job and whatnot,
It's been a hell of a week.
You know, Dave, everybody had matching towels. It is a fact. So
third favorite crustacean.
Yeah. So anyway, this was your pick because we've kind of covered I'm not a Mondo person. So
yeah, but this might make me one.
Really?
It might.
It is Lionel.
That's the thing. Like I've talked about it on the show. That is my favorite cartoon. The weird craziness in my brain, the echelon of Derek's lists. Its favorite toy line is Superpowers. Favorite brand is Motu. Favorite cartoon is Thundercats. And I do like the modern toys. I like the Super 7 toys. I have an affinity for it. I'm going to humble brag for a second. Larry Kenny is a friend. And he's a hometown
you did an
boy.
interview, right?
Yes, we did an interview with him. He's from my hometown. He went to my high school long before I did.
That would be in Derek's on the podcast, not in his book, Mr. Mysterious.
Larry wrote the foreword.
Yeah, okay.
No, actually, my fucking ex-wife did. I need to update that book bad.
Oh, that's who that is that wrote the foreword. No wonder it said I'm a terrible person and human. I was wondering. I'm like, that's a curious foreword. Anyway, sorry.
That's not Shauna. No.
No, not Shauna. Also, Derek, Suede Knight says, yay, Derek. So you've got a fan.
Hey.
Lionel and CoverGirl are from your hometown.
You're damn right. Fortuitous, Andrew. Fortuitous.
It's synchronicity. So you might break your Mondo too expensive rule for Lionel.
I might. If I'm going to break it for something, it's going to be for him. Because that is it's a great looking figure. I love Lionel. Just even outside of the whole fanboy thing of he was on Thundercats, like Larry Kenny is a personal inspiration to me just because his career in broadcasting. I was originally going into broadcasting. His career fascinates me. He's just a celebrity that like I follow their career because I am genuinely interested in it. I love Thundercats. I love Lionel. I might sell some feet pics.
I hear there's a lot of money in that. It makes me glad I used an extra fancy font for him because you liked him that much. So
I'm glad you understood the gravitas of the situation.
I truly did. I was just like, I've got to find the perfect font.
Because we're great friends.
No. Yeah, it's true. I am. All right, let's see. Next. So I don't know.
Little guy.
The Great Garloop.
I need that. I need it. Like, I need it.
So I know nothing about him, and I didn't look it up or Google it or anything. I mean, of it because you sent the pictures, so I didn't have to. See, Derek did send the pictures of the stuff that meant the most to him, so we know how actual into that line you are. Anyway, I don't know who this guy is. Please break it down for me.
Okay, so the Great Garloo was I forget who originally manufactured him, but it was and it's kind of a Grail-esque kind of figure. But it was I want to say he came out in like the 60s or 70s, and just an odd toy. And when I heard that Nacelle had like got the rights to him, I'm just like, oh, okay. So I have no affinity for like, I think he's cool to see if I see him at a toy show. It's cool to see the old Great Garloo, but yes, Andrew, it's probably somebody that Hasbro hates.
Hasbro is very hungry. They have a big appetite.
Oh my God, hungry.
Yeah. They are the owner of the Hungry Hippo toys. So
well, go figure. They panned over to this guy, and I can imagine what he's going to look like in the box. And I think it's more that he looks so Boglin-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And it's smaller, so the price point's probably not going to be ridiculous. I really need one of these. Really bad. Maybe a few, just to put around on my desk and stuff.
I will say when I first saw this, I was like, oh, they made a figure of my ex's cousin. Brittany, but then I looked double and I'm like, oh wait, Brittany isn't blue. She's a little gray, but otherwise, so.
He's just so cool looking. I don't know, he's just weird and cool. I need to get it.
I think weird and cool is good though. Like, and it's kind of cool that it's not some big giant property.
Yeah, it's a little dude. You know, you can snatch a few up if they're not too terribly priced, which I don't imagine them being. You can put them on your desk or your work area or throughout your shelves in your collection and just hide a couple here and there. I just, in the words of Marge Simpson, I just think he's neat.
Nice.
So well, yeah, as soon as I see one, I'm buying it.
Marge is brilliant. So
yes.
Hello, Rolando. And also, my memory is gone because I'm old. Hello, Thanos. I know I put it up, but I don't know if we said it. So lovely to see you both. Guess we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so this is my, like, I really like them. I don't know if I will buy them.
Yeah.
But the Devil and the Witch, the Ben Cooper. I really like these Ben Cooper toys, but these aren't toys that I've been buying just because they're a little spendy. But I really find myself probably needing to get at least one or both of these. So, yeah. And the Witch is partly because she looks like a girl I used to work with, and I would turn and look at her every day, and I would just bust out laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you look like that witch. And she's like, why do you say that? And I'm like,
you're just mean. I gotta send these to Jason. He's a big Halloween mask guy. He's a big really cool guy. He's not, unless it's like an old action figure that he might have had or whatever. He doesn't really buy stuff like this, but I could see him buying these.
I feel like if you do any sort of decorating for Halloween at all in your house, like even if you're not an action figure person, and that's kind of what I like about these like sort of transcend just action figure collectors. Like there are a lot of people who would probably be into these for reasons that aren't like we collect toys and we're weird old people. So.
Yeah. No, these would totally make like great little Halloween decorations. Like Dustin has said it before. Different toys and stuff like, oh yeah, no, that's part of my Halloween decor. I could see him snatching these up and like putting them in his record collection and stuff. Like if you're a Halloween person, you don't even have to be a toy person. Like you said, if you're a Halloween person or you're looking for certain decor, like why not snatch these up? These are fun. They're fun. They look cool. You set them out like with a little display or something, or I don't know. It's just rad.
Also, really quick photo credit on these. I stole them directly from NECA's website. So thank you, NECA, for making these. Anyway, these are cool. I probably definitely get the Witch just so I can remember my coworker, and then the Devil because he's pretty cool. I mean, she wasn't a complete hose beast. And now this slide is because, well, one, we were both kind of excited about Rom. And also because I couldn't find a good picture of that toy, but I could find some George Perez art. And when you have George Perez, that you can always rely on George Perez. So anyway, Rom.
I have a guest in the basement. I don't know what she's doing.
Just coming to see what you're doing.
It's fine. Yo, Rom, man, I am excited for this. I'm sorry, one sec. Is everything okay? I have no idea. I'll try to help you find it later. Anyway. I can't be mad because she just went up the stairs in Daisy Duke, so.
There you are.
Hey, you got to keep the fires alive. No, the ROM. Yes, Shauna cameo. The ROM is very rad. Just the idea of it. How they did Crystar turned out amazing. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to go. It gives me hope for for Hasbro to take some chances on some stuff down the line. Because I think in my head canon, as I'm wont to do, Crystar was to test the waters a little bit. Can we do something that's not, because the Marvel Legends team does obscure people all the time. Like I still see Egghead peg warming, but Crystar, I think it was there. Maybe they were testing the waters to see, like, well, how far can we go as far as testing who we can make? And now they're gonna be, hey, stop it! Now my cat's acting up. I think Crystar was like a test. Now it's like, okay, well, who else can we do? And now they're doing Rom. Yeah. And, you know, Andrew here makes a good point. Like, could they end up doing Micronauts or something? It's interesting. You have a picture of Gem there. I think it would be amazing if Hasbro rolled the dice and did basically, for lack of a better term, a Hasbro Legends line. And you had 6 characters in a Build-A-Figure. And it's Gem and who's the lead singer of the Misfits? Roxy?
Pizzazz.
You know, so you have those two. Let's say the next 2 figures are Matt Tracker and Miles Mayhem. And what else could you do? I'm trying to think of another line that they have that they're not using. Throw a dead cat and you'll hit a line that they have that they're not using. But essentially, Visionaries. Leoric and crap, who is in charge of the Darkling Lords?
We all know who, like, how popular Visionaries are.
Based on my numbers of that episode. But you turn around and do like 6 figures and pack in 6 different pieces. Your Build-A-Figure is Tendril from Inhumanoids. That could be pretty cool. So, like, if you could dovetail into trying that and giving it a shot out of doing Crystar and Rom, I'd buy them up. And I don't think it's impossible to do, especially since now they're doing Rom. So,
Andrew, just so you know, next time we do this, we'll have you come on just to fact check Derek. So that
it's been a long, long week, Andrew. My brain's not working the way that it should.
Anyway. Yeah, and what I like about Rom is he's really cool. And what is even cooler is that toy of him as a kid. We all wanted it, but it sucked.
Yeah.
It didn't. It was chunky in a bad way. It wasn't cool. It just wasn't a great toy. It was a great idea. It was a not great toy. And I kind of like that the figure looks really cool. And I also like that you could buy a couple ROMs, and if you're a customizer or what have you, you could get a couple and paint them really cool colors and just have an entire, like, you know, a really cool display. So
ROM Force.
Yep, Andrew, exactly. You're hired. And I also, like you, whenever they announced him, I was like, between Crystar, between Rom, it opens the door, as Andrew mentioned, for things like Micronauts, but also for Gem and the holograms. I feel like Hasbro, despite all of the misgivings a lot of us have from time to time about them, I feel like there are people at Hasbro really trying to bring some cool stuff to us and sort of get some more of these obscure, not as well-known things out there. I just think Hasbro's in a really weird place right now between the creatives and the next level right above them are the people who interact with the fans and know sort of what we want, and then the people who make the money decisions. So
that's got to be tough, because I'm sure if you're on a creative team, especially, you got to think most of these people on creative teams now, and they've even said it on their live streams and stuff, like, we're fans too. We grew up with this, and that's incredibly true. They are technically our peers. They're our age. They grew up watching these things, so they have an affinity for it. And of course, they're sitting together, like, spitballing ideas. I guarantee what I just threw out there, a Hasbro Legends line, I'm not, like, reinventing the wheel there with that idea. I guarantee that somebody in those rooms has had a similar idea, and it's probably been shot down by somebody above them.
I can neither confirm confirm nor deny that in chats with certain people, I've said, you know, it would be really cool if you did with Gem, right? I can't speak to that directly, but I will say, if it could happen. So quickly, let's move to all of the stuff that you and I was super excited about. And I take based on the messages back and forth when it was happening that you were also excited about these. Also, for those who are wondering, all the Motu stuff is just I did not try to organize it because, it's too much work.
No.
But
it's fine.
Both of these are really high up on my list of like, oh my God, that's amazing. So we are going to start with, in my opinion, even though I'm all about the Shiro stuff, I liked this Rattler so much. She is like one of the coolest toys, I think, to come out of the Turtles of Grayskull collaboration. Like, it's just so cool. Like, I wish I had got more pictures, but we've got some translucent plastic. We've got a weird Cthulhu eye that you can't really see because I chose a bad picture of it. I'm really not helping sell this toy, but that's okay. I don't work market. I'm not one of Mattel's influencers, so I don't need to make them look any better.
Stand on your own, Mattel.
Yeah, and that's what's funny, Andrew, because technically if you describe this to me, I would kind of probably roll my eyes, but there's something perfect about this. It's like the perfect 80s aesthetic. Like, it just lands for me.
It's those purples and blues, man.
Yeah, right?
There's just something about it. And with that splash of yellow on the chest and the translucent plastic, like, I'm not a big Turtles of Grayskull fan, but there's been some figures, and it's always the ones with translucent plastic that have just
what I
like
will
the
say
Merman, the Moss Man.
Yeah, what I will say for Turtles of Grayskull is I don't think the Turtles have made out as well before Turtles. I don't feel like He-Man has done quite as well, and the Tila figure is kind of a meh for me. I say that she's literally right here. I don't know that they have made out as well, but there's the Shredder, the Casey Jones, there's some really cool stuff for the side characters.
Yeah.
And for me, that goes a long way. I know a lot of people were like, the Beastman was kind of meh, but the Beastman, the armor for that is really cool. So I'm going to, at some point, grab another one or two of those and just make some guards for like that amazing, the Skeletor for the Turtles of Grayskull is super cool. So, yeah, and we're going to definitely work over to that. A Modulok I really like, obviously.
Yeah,
and
he's going to be cool.
Well, and what's cool is this is the same torso on my... Wait, let me slip into Allison does tooling for Motu Toy person. And if you look at the torso on this Modulok, you will see that this is the same torso that they used for Fogmonger. And what that means is this is in scale with all of your other more Origins figures. So if I can afford it, I want to get two of this Modulok. So one, I can make really crazy monsters with it. But also, like, that torso, you should be able to plug in He-Man arms to that. Like, this, you should be able to, like, mix and match all of your Origins, all of the, like, dudes with this figure. And, like, I'm here for it. Like, that's what Modulok I wanted him to be when we were kids. So, everything okay?
This cat.
No, I thought it was my cat. So anyway.
No, that's mine. It's mine.
Okay.
Hey, pipe down. Every day's a blessing.
Well, you know, it kind of is.
No, he's there. These are both just so cool looking. It's nice to see Modulok finally getting made. I mean, we all know Mattel said yes, we're gonna make every vintage figure, but there's some that we've really just been like, come on, and now finally, here we go. He's here, so it's nice to see. Hopefully, pretty soon that means Multibot is coming.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
I hope. Like, we definitely. I mean, they've said their plan is to finish all of the vintage figures.
Yeah.
So Modulok should be here. I mean, Multibot should be here as part of that. I'm hoping that we see in Turtles and the cartoon collection. Or also, we haven't gotten the full She-Ra reveal. They could be really sneaky and slip Queen Marlena in as part of that.
Yeah.
Since she was in The Secret of the Sword. Next, some more Motu. Again, one of these is Voltak. Voltak? I think that's how you say his name. He's a member of the Horde.
Voltak.
Something like that. Lots of V's, lots of Aki sounds, like you're about to cough something up, like the cat earlier. But he's really cool. I'm excited about a lot of the Filmation She-Ra, more so than some of the He-Man stuff. But what I like most is he's not a remake of a character we already have in Filmation style.
Yeah, and he's creepy looking, but I like it. Like that face is so, and those eyes, it's so. Like, I know you're a toy, I know you're small and you're plastic. I shouldn't be afraid of you, but it's a little unsettling. So
he's a little creepy. Yeah, he's not. The cartoon was, a little softer, and it's like they've definitely given him some rougher edges. I also like that these wings could make a pretty cool Queen Angela from Princess of Power.
Very true.
No, I mean, because these look like the same wings from the Turtles of Grayskull, April O'Neil.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Demo Man, who we now know thanks to Adam at the Battle Ram blog. Plug for Adam. The Demo Man was not actually an early version of Skeletor, but a completely different character Mark Taylor created altogether.
Yeah.
But he's still super cool, and I'm glad we're going to get him in Origins.
Yeah, he's a green skeleton man with a beard.
Yep.
That's all I got. If you disagragree with that being cool, I wish you liked fun.
I hope it works out for you.
Yeah.
Now, Rio Blast, which is a big, I know Mensch with Card is really excited about Rio Blast. A lot of people are. I'm excited for two reasons. One, it's cool to get him, but also, and this is tooling Allison kicking in with those hands. Those are the same hands that they need for Plasmar, who is one of the unmade lost 1988 toy line.
Yeah.
So if they do a hero now, they have all the parts that they need to make that character. So
sweet,
which is cool.
And I will die on this hill. Rio Blast is a perfect in for Bravestar to join Motu. It's my cross to bear.
Well, there are parts of him that they could easily reuse for Bravestar. So
it's true.
And this Evelyn, the new Eternia Evelyn, is pretty boss.
Yes. She's perfect. She's perfect.
For me, of all the Masterverse stuff we saw, this was the perfect, the best of the Masterverse stuff.
Yeah, she was top of the top. Any Masterverse reveal, she was the best of them. I can't even remember the other Masterverse reveals. There was Panther, and there was a Horde Trooper. If there was anything outside of that, I can't remember it because she just.
Yeah, the Horde Trooper was cool, but Evelyn is just quintessential to me. I feel like that's one of the first. Of course, Masterverse has had so many different Evelyns that I got them sort of waiting to get to her. So,
Yeah, they're up to 3. Regular Evelyn, Sorceress Evelyn, Muscle Mommy.
Yeah, there's the Godlin.
Yeah.
Or Darklin or whatever we're calling it. Muscle Mommy Evelyn.
Yeah.
Feels like there was another one in there somewhere.
Well, there was the Sorceress one where she had the bat head.
Yeah.
And then the
regular standard Revelations one. Maybe there were just 3, and it feels like, but that's still a lot of you. I mean, we got one Evelyn as kids, so.
Yeah. And now we're gonna have 4.
Yeah, the Beast Woman from the box art would be really cool.
Man, that's a good point.
No. These for me were just amazing. Eve, Katra, and She-Ra. I need a toy accurate Katra at some point, but this will do. For now.
See, I'm happy with this because I want a cartoon accurate one. I appreciate the want for the toy accurate one, 100%. But for me, representation in my collection. That's the cat. That Catra's for me. The other Catra for the purists, and that's fine.
I mean,
Two things can be true at the same time.
At minimum, I'll be able to repaint her into toy colors, because she did appear in some media in the 80s in that outfit, but toy colors. So, yeah, I'll say the same thing. I also want some DreamWorks versions of all the characters. I'm hoping for the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, when they sort of said that they would do more announcements in the fall, which is only a few weeks away, Mattel.
Ugh.
But I'm hoping we get a really nice offering of She-Ra stuff. I'm hoping there's some vintage toy looks. I hope there is more Filmation stuff. I hope they get
some of these gals, man.
DreamWorks. Like, even if they have to do a whole separate toy line that's not Masters of the Universe Origins, like, give me 8 to 12 figures in a Princess of Power line that's just Princess of Power. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, these were really exciting. And also, you and I were both excited about these O-ring reactions.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome, John. Yeah, I did hear Frosted. So, like,
okay, because I was just going to say, I'm like, I need a Frosted in this scale.
Yeah,
and thank God,
she's been mentioned as part of the cartoon collection. So
Frosted's my girl.
Yeah. So, also these O-ring. I'm not sure if I need another Snake Eyes or if I need another Cobra Commander, but I definitely need this cover girl.
Yeah, I need a Snake Eyes. I do want him. I have to get Cover Girl. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. She's from Peoria.
It's true.
I have to buy it. It's like if a greatest hits album comes out for Dan Fogelberg, or a Criterion collection for a Richard Pryor movie comes out. I have to buy it. I'm from here. It's my job.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, it helps that I want it, but
yeah, that's right. Dan Fogelberg is from there. Did you know he met his old lover at the grocery store?
I've been to that grocery store.
Yeah.
I bought a sixer of Killian's Irish Red there.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm hoping we get some cool stuff in that. Next, you were really excited about these.
Yeah, I am absurdly excited for these.
What would you say about the Tony the Tiger figure? What are you thinking?
It's awesome. But that's not the line.
No, that wasn't what I was trying to set you up, but okay, fine, ruin it.
Damn it. Shit.
To quote your son.
To quote my son. No, they are indeed great. But and yes, he did win preview night. That Tony is so cool looking. It's just, I can't eat Frosted Flakes at my age. It's not a great idea, but it made me just want to dive into a giant box of Frosted Flakes.
I got to say, like, what I've really, sort of like the Chester the Cheetah, of course, Cheetah for Cheetos, and all of the cereal things that they've been doing.
Yeah. Like,
I'm really surprised that we're getting these now, but that we never got them before. Like, why wasn't there a Tony the Tiger in the 80s? And
yeah.
Like, there wasn't even like a cheap little PVC figure that you could get in a box of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah. Like, why not? I mean, Captain Crunch did it. There was the captain, the robot, and two of the Soggies. And
Soggy guy. Yep.
They were great. Like, I don't understand why there wasn't like a Lucky or a Tony.
Those too. They had the Cookie Cop and the burglar or whatever.
Yeah. And Chip the Dough.
I ate a lot of Cookie Crisp to get those.
It's pretty great.
Hello, the Rickster. He got
it. I blew it.
But these are really cool.
They're great. They're so cool looking. And I think
they need to do Tricks the Rabbit for sure. And we also need Lucky from Lucky Charms, and he has to come with a chip so that he can say they're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Yes. They're at least, or at the very least, have a base you put them on and push the button and it says it.
Agreed. That's one of my favorite.
And they do need to finish out the cereal monsters. Last I checked, it's just Frankenberry and Count Chocula.
Yeah, and I think Blueberry got me.
Did they make them? Okay.
Yeah, but we still need fruit. We need the Fruity Yummy Mummy, and
now we need Carmella.
Yeah, Carmella. That cereal is not my favorite, though.
It's fine.
And you're telling me it's apple, you're telling me it's caramel, and then it tastes...
It's fine.
It's neither overwhelming nor underwhelming. I'm just whelmed.
I'm just whelmed, man.
Yeah,
if Tony is great, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I'm not gonna get mad if you give me that cereal, but I'm not gonna be excited. I'm not gonna be like, oh, make sure it's the Carmella one.
Yeah.
It's like Blueberry, Frankenberry are...
I will mess up some Blueberry.
Oh yeah, Blueberry is really good.
I love it. That's my jam.
I remember the first time I ate it as a kid, my mom warned me like afterwards about, the poop that would be greenish.
Yeah.
And I forgot because you're a child and you forget. And I remember screaming because I thought something was wrong because it was green. Food dyes, they're fun.
That happened with Henry with Crunch Berries. It just, Dad, come and look at this.
Oh my God. Crunch Berries, not only do they ruin the roof of your mouth, but... Okay, so really quick, because we're almost to an hour, Jared. Who would have thought?
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, and we're still about, we still have a little ways to work our way through.
Just having too much damn fun.
Fruit Brute is the Fruit Brute. That's the one.
Yes.
So these two were two of your mess.
Yeah. I'm meh about them. I think it was Thanos said he would have rather seen one of the Beast Woman depicted on the art box. Yeah. That would have been, instead of another new Eternia Beast Man, which, okay, he's a cool looking figure. I would have rather had somebody else or a Beast Woman to go with them.
Well, my personal take on it is I feel like that first new Eternia Beast Man knocked it out of the park. This feels really redundant.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing here? So I don't get why they're doing it, because that first one was very, very detailed. The soft goods it came with, it was home run.
Yeah,
there's nothing else to say, but we're gonna make this.
Agreed, John. And that's sort of where we're going to disagree, because for me, Geldor is one of my favorites. Picture it, 1984. We went to service merchandise, and I'm like, who is this ninja with the gold hand? And because nobody on the playground had Jitsu yet. So I got Jitsu, and I was excited because I'm like, we're going to see who he is in this mini comic. No Jitsu, but Geldor was in there. So I spent a lot of time as a kid waiting. There was Geldor, there was Prince, I believe his name was Dakon, and then Princess Mara. There were like 3 or 4 characters in that mini comic that I was expecting to get from Mattel like for years, and we never got. So I know they did him in Classics, but not the other. But I'm hoping Origins will fix that, because I'm excited for this guy. He's really cool.
He's one that I will.
Agreed.
I'll probably get him just because he is a good human character.
Oh, yeah.
But like there's been a couple Origins figures that I'm just like, okay, like Reptilax is a good example. I had him on pre-order. I canceled it. Will I eventually get him? Yeah, probably. I mean, if he ends up being discounted on Big Bad Toy Store, yeah, I'll probably snatch him up. But this, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's being displayed with so many other figures that I'm like, I gotta have it. I
will say that, like, sort of, his design can be very. It's a subdued design, but it's just, for me, it's one of. I believe they showed him in Demo Man a few months back.
Yeah,
and I'm excited for this one. So
yeah, this is decades of you wanting something finally coming true. So I get that.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of excited, though, when you were like, this is one of my mez. I'm like, oh, we'll disagree on a thing. So it'll be like Kathy Lee and Regis, except I think one of those people are dead and we're both alive.
I'm just going to have my white wine and be a bitch.
I'll try.
I'm the Kathy Lee.
Oh, Kathy Lee. She needs a Martha Stewart redemption where she goes to prison for a few years so we can decide she's not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That sounds fair to me.
All right, let's see. So we're going to talk about my biggest disappointment for San Diego Comic-Con was one, no superpowers, and two, no superpowers that brought any of these cool superheroes of the 1980s to the toy line.
No, but we're getting T-shirts.
Allegedly, Rick. Allegedly. Yeah, like they'll be on a T-shirt, but I don't know. I need Supergirl with her hot pants. I need Zatanna
hot pants Supergirl. Chop chop.
You know, I mean, like this costume as Zatanna would be great, but if Todd needs to cut corners and give us OG Zatanna with her fishnet, so he can reuse the Black Canary fishnet mold,
that's fine. I can accept that.
Yeah. It's acceptable.
I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. My dream is to have the classic fishnets for both of them, and then I want 80s pop stars. I want Stevie Nicks Zatanna, and I want Owen J Black Canary. I want it all, but if I gotta settle for fishnets, I'll settle for fishnets.
Yeah, and hello to
it
Alex.
Is a daily disappointment,
right? The what was it? The medulla gem or whatever they called it. It had some
lobster hat.
Name. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping, but also I think allegedly they're going to do that in the fall. My guess is that'll happen right after the crowdfund ends for the Snake Layer.
Okay, yeah.
So that they can focus on Princess of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely. That's just sort of. I think from the get, this is for me like the biggest disappointment when I heard Todd McFarlane was bringing back the superpowers. As Todd had just gone on record with that. Girls don't sell.
What was it, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, right. I mean, 2 weeks
later, literally just said, "Oh yeah, no, girls don't sell.
Girls don't sell." And I know this because I haven't touched a titty since 1997. I'm joking.
You give me two choices: a decent breakfast and touching a titty. I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to make an omelet and ignore the titty.
And this is a good point Andrew has, because McFarlane does sort of save a lot of the good stuff for for New York Comic Con. So, and New York Comic Con would be a good time for Mattel to, like, next year we're doing 40 years of She-Ra. So, so this was my disappointment. And I've got both versions of the McFarlane Superpower Wonder Woman. The one he redid in the 80s colors, even, because that's who I am. But I need him to do like some more George Perez 80s Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I need Todd if he can only give us Wonder Woman. There's Maude Wonder Woman. There's Linda Carter Wonder Woman. There's
Kathy Lee
John
Crosby.
Byrne, right? Kathy Lee Crosby in her little dress. There are options, Todd.
Her dress pantsuit thing.
And that Kathy Lee Gifford head sculpt he could reuse to finally give us a Black Canary, Todd. Come on, Todd. You can do it.
I just.
Right. So now we get to the snake in the room. The Snake Layer that people have so well reacted to.
Let's have a discussion. Let's unpack this bullshit.
So first, I'm going to put my cards on the table. I love this toy. I really like it. I'm hoping it's affordable because I want to back it. So
it's one of those things. It's as soon as they showed that glass case, I was watching Jay's stream, the opening night of SDCC, and he gets over by Motu. And like so much Eternia 2 years ago, here's a display case with a tarp over it. And immediately I'm like, oh, well, that's a Snake Layer. And I'm just looking at how that cloth is laid over. I'm like, oh, this is going to be big. Uh-oh.
Right? And then they showed a space issue here. And what I'm going to say is there are a lot of people who have a lot of things they don't like about it that are 100% valid. I've just heard some things that aren't, in my opinion, accurate. So we are going to sort of walk through some slides so that I can sort of, if you don't like it for a reason, don't like it for that reason, but please be accurate in the things you're saying about this toy. So
yeah. Yeah, don't be.
So, and also I need to do some O2 history for this to be a toy video on my channel. So
Take us to church.
Yeah. Okay, so first, this is from 1980 something. This is that vehicle. I personally have wanted this snake toy. Quick back, real quick. There it is.
Yep, there it
right
is.
here. I've wanted this since I saw this in Masters of the Universe magazine as a kid. Even though it was the wrong Cobra Khan in it, it wasn't the toy, but I liked this vehicle. Yeah, I actually did as well because I think this vehicle would sell well on its own. But we're going to pretend that there's still a package deal. This is a cool vehicle. It's vintage inspired. I mean, it's pretty much this toy. Like, this is pretty much the toy right there in this art.
Yeah, so, based on that old art, I mean, it's a pretty damn good representation.
It looks like a faithful adaptation. So
yeah.
Okay.
Very well done.
The one argument I've heard, which is it's an accurate statement. This is the concept art. This is the final toy. Obviously, those are two different things.
Yeah.
And like you can tell how they're related, but they're different. One's sort of more like the clamshell. The other is more of a fold out, sort of like the 2000
trifold.
Yeah, it's a trifold.
Yeah.
Now, some of the things I've heard is like that's not something Mattel would have done, but that's technically not true. Also, I've heard this is Imaginext level. I've put an Imaginext level playset. It's just the two things are not comparable.
No.
It's too
Imaginext playsets. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm worked up. Side prototype is and was trash. Left side prototype. Was Thanos talking about the art, or is he talking about left side of prototype is and was trash?
Oh, the left side of the prototype. Yeah, like it's not a very good. Well, quick.
Oh, the art. Yeah, like how married to that are you?
Yeah, I was not at all because I thought my hope when I voted for this was I would get something better. So again, I was not disappointed.
I'm not mad, and like people trying to compare it to Imaginext, like okay.
Right.
Imaginext for what it is. Henry had Imaginext stuff for what it is. It's pretty good. So don't take the piss out of Imaginext. But trying to compare the two, I don't think that's a fair assessment.
It's a bad argument. So I'm just saying don't make it because here's the Imaginex's closest playset. It's obviously two different levels. If you don't like it, don't like it for a better reason that's not inaccurate. Like that's inaccurate to say it looks Imaginext. There's no way you're going to get that level of sculpting on Imaginext.
No.
What's important to know is the design of this actually comes from vintage Motu. These are some old designs from unused playsets in the 80s. And ironically, to offer more budget-friendly playsets, Mattel considered doing sort of these fold-out playsets that would attach to the wall. They were called treehouse playsets.
Yeah.
And where the little sort of handle-looking thing is, the thought is you would attach that to like your doorknob or just nail it to the wall.
Sure.
And then the little platform folded down. So this is sort of what Axel Jimenez was looking at when he designed the snake layer. And this playset also seems to have a little bit of design on the prison side of the snake layer. This was originally designed as a Wave 2 playset concept where they were going to, instead of like Point Dread sort of clips into Castle Grayskull, their idea for a while was every year they would just do smaller playsets that expanded Castle Grayskull. This was the dungeon playset. This picture is courtesy of the Power and Honor Foundation Catalog Volume 1, which is the makers of it got a cease and desist from Mattel, so it's kind of rare. Anyway, this is sort of and I could only find, I didn't have time to scan my Fangor card back to get it. So it's kind of a bad, but this is sort of Axel's very literal translation of that treehouse playset.
Yeah.
And sort of this was the concept that they started with before the other concept art. But it's really important that we look at sort of how Castle Grayskull evolved, because These are both Mark Taylor designs for Grayskull. The second one, the one that I have here in black and white, to my eye, when I saw the snake layer, it looked like they drew a little bit from this Mark Taylor's Castle Grayskull design, a little bit for it in the way it's constructed.
Yeah.
So when people are like, it's not quite Motu, I slightly disagree because it looks like they sort of went back to old designs and pulled a little bit from here and there. So
I think because you kind of started this by saying, if you're going to have an argument, have a valid one or an accurate one.
Have one that's,
like in the chats here, I think it was the Rickster said, mentioned he personally had a preference to having seen the Fright Zone be done.
Yeah.
And me too. I didn't own it as a kid. Would I have personally liked to have seen the Fright Zone done beforehand? Sure. The flip side of that is I understand doing something different first, simply because they have committed to doing all the original stuff first. So if I'm being given a choice, like, hey, I can make you something new and original now, you're still going to get the Fright Zone. I'm going to want the new thing now.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to get the other thing.
Well, I voted Snake Layer because I wanted something new.
I think I voted Fright Zone and Snake Lair. I think those were the two I voted for.
This is the original prototype of Grayskull. As you can see, there's some subtle differences. Like, it's just normal for toys to go through. But I just put that so people could sort of, because to my eye, this black and white art from Mark Taylor, there's a lot in this that looks like it ended up in the Snake Layer. Also, the trifold thing goes back to this, as far as I can tell with Mattel design. This was an original Whispering Woods playset that they planned
tell me
for
about
Wave
this.
3 of Princess of Power. So this was, it folds. So again, it looks like they're going back to old 1987, 1988 toy designs sort of to pull from it.
Yeah.
And this is the inside of it. It sort of folds up in a similar way. This was in the middle of this pink translucent, there was supposed to be like a speaker there. And then there was a plastic microphone that looked like Light Hope, but she was a girl. And the kid was going, I am Light Hope. And it would come out of the speaker in the pink toy. So, of course, Mattel just recycles. But again, this is sort of a trifold thing. In theory, they could at some point do this toy. So, because they still, as you can see by the copyright, this is a Mattel picture. So, thank you, Mattel.
Sure.
This is also a Mount Eternia is the first one with the original point dread. This is the concept art that eventually became Eternia. This picture dates back to like 1983, 84. So Eternia was something always planned.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Seen the one on the right before, the one on the left with like the 3 heads. I've never seen that one. That's nuts.
So, and that's the original version of the Talon Fighter on the top. And you can tell sort of this is like 82, 83 based on Tila and sort of the various things. And then that evolved from Mount Eternia to Eternia. And this is a little closer. But again, if you look at the Snake Mountain side of this, to my eye when I saw the Snake Layer, it looks like they were pulling from this design for Eternia for some of the Snake Layer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's what it ended up as.
Yeah.
I used the Origins one because that was on Mattel's site. Thanks, Mattel. So there are the two of them together, just so everyone can see. And in conclusion, may I please remind you, it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty.
Nice work, Cher.
Thanks. Anyway, so my point is here, I'm going to click back to sort of the two Snake Layers. The point is if you don't like it, you don't like it. Just make sure that your reason for not liking it is based on why you actually don't like it, and it's not based on, because a lot of it seems to pull from all these old concepts that they have. It's fine to not like it. It's fine. It might be too expensive for me I want to back it. It might be too expensive for me at this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but just if you're not liking it, don't like it for a real reason. Don't sort of make up, it looks like Imaginext, it looks like this. Just don't like it for a real reason that's based, and a real reason for a toy based on nostalgia is I just don't like it. That's valid.
And that's the thing.
You don't
If
have
you
to have
don't
a
like
reason
it, that's
beyond I
fine.
just don't like it. So I give everyone permission right now. If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. You don't have to have a reason beyond you don't like it. It's just not your jam.
You could just say, you know what, it's not for me. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I think oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to reiterate. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't have to like it, but just
like,
you don't like it because you don't like it.
Nobody's making you like it or telling you have to. I get people being. That's a very good point. I think Dan Larson said it too recently. It's been said a couple times. Like, if you never saw that original concept art during the vote, would you give a damn?
Yeah. So, and price point is valid. It's really valid to be unhappy that it's going to be that much. It's going to be this.
Sure.
This is bigger than what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I was expecting grayscale Snake Mountain scale. That's what I was expecting. This is almost like the bad guys Eternia.
Yeah, and I think this is where the issue with it being a crowdfund is, because if they could price it at like $90 to $150, it would just be at retail. And I think that's the problem, is that because it's a crowdfund, it has to justify a price point. Because if it's people were like, I wanted it to be 90 to 150. That's not going to be a crowdfund. And Mattel, I mean, even that ridiculously overpriced like Jurassic Park thing, like that was still like
the gates.
Yeah, the gate. It was some gates. So
the friggin' gates.
I'm just saying, like, there are reasons to not like this if you don't, but just and I don't. It feels weird to have to tell people if you just don't like it, it's okay. Like, you don't have to have a reason beyond it. Just don't like it.
I will say that I think this is an example of it's a teachable moment for Mattel, in that this proves, and I think they see that post Comic-Con in light of something that happened today.
That poll, I think they did a poll specifically so that people could let them know what they were looking for.
That's exactly where I was going. I think this is a lesson in transparency, because if leading up to, but then again, I get it at the same time. Well, it would have spoiled the surprise for Comic-Con. Sometimes is the surprise really worth it? Because we all know it's coming. Well, Eternia was a surprise, and that's fine. I think if they would have went the route of showing a render beforehand, like, hey, like months ago, saying, this is what we're actually thinking about, this is more akin to where we want to go with this, instead of the drawing we initially showed, maybe it would have been more well received. I think they have learned from that, and I think that's why they had that poll put up today on Mattel Creations. Like, how do you feel about this? What do you think the cost should be? So
and I think that's the thing. There are a lot of people who wanted a larger scale Eternia Palace because there's more of a connection to that.
Yeah, that's a damn fine point by Thanos. Like,
I mean, the thing
you're gonna get something big.
If they could get this in at $150 price point, like, they should just make it a Mattel Creations exclusive, right?
Yeah,
and hopefully
that would be fair. That would be fair. I could see if you have the vehicle with it, $250. If you take the vehicle out, because I think that vehicle could sell on its own just fine. I think if you take the vehicle out, you make the play set $200, and maybe there's some characters. Like, maybe it's that bony Lady Slither. Maybe you get another crack at getting King Grayskull, even if it's a variant of him.
I think
so people don't get pissed at that. I think that's possible. But like you said, if you were expecting this to be like $90 to $100, like, it's not going to be a crowdfund. It's going to go to retail, and it's going to fail at retail. Because retail is for Joe Blow. You know, the casual person, are like, I remember He-Man. Somebody who is just a casual, I remember this from when I was a kid. They see this box art, they see it on an end cap. They're not going to know what the hell it is. They got to hope that their kid, Mattel would have to hope that somebody's kid sees it and goes, "What's this snake thing?" and then drags their parent over there. That's kind of a bridge too far.
Yeah, well, for that price point, it's not the. I mean, especially when there's no media to back it up. So
yeah, this isn't 1986.
Really quick, to Andrew's question, according to the lore, Lady Slither was killed during the Preternia phase, and that's the sort of old snake layer that we see, or basically Axel's original design that appeared in the Fangor box art. That's the Preternia version. This is the modern snake layer as is sort of in the time of He-Man. And basically Lady Slither has been resurrected. So I don't know all the mechanics behind it, but it had been intimated at some point she had been resurrected. And that's the resurrected. So so she's kind of like a scarecrow snake lady. So no worries, Christopher. So yeah, I just, like I figured since we were going to do this, I would throw some of this in so people could just not like it if they don't want to like it, and not have to have a bigger reason other than I don't like it. So
yeah. And if you look at it, you're like, that's not what I expected, so I think I'm priced out, or it's not
totally
for me.
Valid.
Okay, that's a fair point. Yeah. But like you said, like it's like Imaginext and stuff like that. No, it's not. No, it's not. My kid has Imaginext. I just sold some at a garage sale. It's not Imaginext.
Yeah, and that's what sort of was annoying me, was like sort of the bad arguments, and I was just like, I don't mind that people don't like it. Like, I'm not attached to people liking it. So and then really quick, my other disappointment, as mentioned earlier, my real disappointment was we did not get a full reveal of the entire Wave 1 and Wave 2 Princess of Power toy line in modern day.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming, and I'm excited. It's like
I need a.
I see those gals at the bottom, and I need them. I need them.
We all need a butterfly lady.
Yes, everybody needs dates for the Eternian Ball. How else am I going to do that?
Exactly, Chris. So, yeah. So yeah, I just I wanted. I figured since you wanted to do this and we were going to do it, let's just slide the snake layer chat in there so people could at least have some. It would have been so good. Like, Vac Metal and trapped it for real. Like, exactly. Ooh. I loved my Butterflyer as a kid. When Toys Plus, this is a true story of my childhood. When our local Toys Plus went out of business, they marked down a bunch of toys, including the USS Flag, which was then $80, which is how we got one. But they had a bunch of the Wave 2 Princess of Power stuff that never hit Walmart in our area. So I got for $15 in 1980s money, I got the Butterflyer, Claudine, the two crystal horses that weren't Swift, because I already had Swiftwind, and a second Enchanta, because mine had a mishap with a drainage ditch.
Oh no!
She did not float, and they did not necessarily put in big enough words that this was not a swan that could float. So.
Nuts.
Yeah. And like I think for the cartoon collection, plastic hair, but I won't pop with some combable hair. I need some hair play, y'all. I need some hair play.
It would be nice to see the rooted hair. If they don't, fine. But it would be a nice little touch.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool, I think. So
yeah. We will see.
And that's the end of the slideshow. This was Allison and Derek, our SDC favorites. So
hey, we had a good time. Did you have fun? I had fun.
What a cool idea. I had a great time. Like, it was pretty good. And for those who came late, just a reminder: Derek is the author of Mr. Wisteria, available on Amazon.
Yeah,
I heartily recommend.
I don't know why I get.
So Derek can make some money and become a famous author.
The shit I talk about on the podcast, but I'm getting bashful about a book I wrote. I don't understand me. I don't. But whatever.
No worries, Thomas. We get it. Oh. Right, Toy Polloi does magic.
God, he's
Everyone
good.
Go check out Toy Polloi. I watched his stuff.
I watched him refurbish a rhino, and it was one. It melted my stress away. wasn't expecting that. And it was just tremendous, pristine. Thank you, Chris. I'm the people's champion.
You are.
Smoking beans, kings and queens. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Oh.
Dusty Rhodes. Acting?
Yeah. I felt like for a second that we are at the theater.
Acting.
Acting. All right, so we made it an hour and 25 minutes, Derek.
Hot damn. Okay.
I know, not bad, eh? Because we had a lot of stuff to make our way through.
There's stuff to talk about.
You're welcome. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mint with Card. And you up too. You keep me quite feeling sane and balanced at times on Instagram with your various posts. So I appreciate you.
Yes, actor in therapy.
There we go. Since we are wrapping up, Derek, where can the people find you?
You can find me in the Xverse, of course, Derek J. Hoover, or Yesterdaze Pod. And check out the show. We try to make it fun. Actually, I saw Mint in there. It will be the first episode in September. Centurions, you get a specific shout out, Bucko, in regards to your obsession with a stupid voice.
Hello.
Yesterday's podcast comes out every Monday. We do have a Patreon. There's some member exclusive stuff there, of course. And we try to make it a lot of fun. I trauma dump sometimes. There's swearing, crass jokes, and we managed to talk about, Popples, Centurions, and Gravedale High, all while cussing, swearing, and being very crass.
Fine holiday fun for everyone.
Yeah, I want to shill for you for a second, if I may.
Oh, okay.
So if you are here for the first time, you're probably gonna you found the monkeys. You probably are gonna want to like and subscribe. It's not just toy reviews, this is kind of a toy review. Allison does quite a bit on her channel. It's known for coloring, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. My favorite aspect of your channel is very niche, because I'm a crazy person. The toy catalogs, you go through the Kenner action guides and stuff. I don't know why I love that as much as I do, but oh God bless it, do I love it. You will do my favorite toy and do a coloring page while you tell a story. You put a lot of work in this channel, and you have a lot to offer in this channel. It's like a salad bar that's good.
It's meant to be a very specific. For me, like my favorite parts of childhood, 70s and 80s, when these toy lines were a thing, we're laying on the floor with the toy booklet, looking through them. Or laying on the floor coloring, sort of, because even if you had a VCR, you could only watch the same episode so many times. But you could always tell a story in your head coloring. And just sort of, I don't know, like I have a fun little corner that is mine, and I like being here. Speaking of, let's see, today is Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday. I have a color and chill. And tomorrow's color and chill, let me double check.
What day is it?
Yeah, I know, right? Hello. Where did this week go? Okay, so tomorrow's color and chill is Beastman versus He-Man. It's from the Vintage Masters of the Universe 84 book that I'm working on this year. I also have a live stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be coloring a picture of Ram Man from that same book. So pop in and chat with me if you want, and I'm just going to be working on that. Saturday, for the toy booklet people among you, we all know Superpowers Wave 2 did not have a booklet, it had a poster. But I scanned it and turned it into a book, so there will be a book. So that lands Saturday, and then Sunday morning I will be here for my normal live stream, but I will be alone. No worries. We literally will
Time is meaningless.
chat, but it's lovely to see you. Thank you. And I will be coloring a page from a Supergirl book, a vintage 1984 Supergirl book. And the first Sunday of the month, I'm going to have a solo live stream where I talk about state of the channel every month. So join me for that. You just pop in if you have questions or things you want to see me do, like coloring books or pages or whatever. Jump in.
Finally, a State of the Union I can give a shit about.
Exactly. And again, no worries, chat. It happens. So.
Oh my goodness. Who cares?
Anyway,
This is toys are fun. Toys are important.
Fun. All right. And so we're going to wrap up. Thank you again for joining us for this impromptu last minute. Derek had an idea and I'm like, let's do it.
We should do it again.
If you did enjoy this, keep in mind, Derek and I are working on a few things in the future. So this will not be the last time Derek and I show up on your YouTube screens to talk toys.
What's going to happen? Who's to say?
What does it mean? I don't know.
I guess you're just going to have to tune in.
Yeah. Yep. Come as you are. And really quick, we have to end with this. It's really important that you all know you all have so many relationships in this life, but only one or two will last. You go through all the pain and strife, then you turn your back and they're gone so fast. Oh yeah, and they're gone so fast because in an inbox, it's gone.